Hello, students. Dear children, yesterday I started with the explanation of our chapter BHOLI, where we discussed that who's BHOLI into the chapter, how many siblings she has, she's a neglected child, what is the reason behind it, how she was not well, how she started stammering, what all problems does she has, what disease she suffered through when she was just 2 years old, and which has left mark on her face, on her body. She stammers, and just because of all these reasons, she's not taken care at her own house. Now, because there is a new school started into their village, primary school for the girls specially, and Bholi's father, Ramlal, have been asked by Tehsildar to send his daughter to the school as he can set an example for the other villagers. Let's see that what happens. Yesterday I explained you that this is Bholi who is sitting into one of the corner. Ramlal is sitting on the coat. The mother is tying the hair of her sister. Now let's see what happens. Will Ramlal be able to send Bholi to school or not? The next day Ramlal caught Bholi by the hand and said, "Come with me, I'll take you to school." Bholi was frightened. Why Bholi is frightened? Because Bholi has no idea about school. Bholi do not know what kind of a place it is, what she has to learn there, why she need to go to that place. So she was quite afraid. She did not know what a school was like. This is a scene of school which has been picturized here, adding to the gist of the story, creating it quite attracting. She remembered how a few days ago their old cow Lakshmi had been turned out of the house and sold. And you know what she's doing? She's comparing herself to Lakshmi, one of their cow, because few days back the cow was sold to somebody and she had been sent away from the house. Now Bholi is thinking that today they are also asking me to go to a school. Are they going to do something the same with me also? So she said into her stammering voice, "No." She shouted in terror and pulled her hand away from her father's grip. "What's the matter with you, you fool?" shouted Ramlal. "I am only taking you to school." Then he told his wife, "Let her wear some decent clothes today, or else what will the teachers and the other schoolgirls think of us and when they see her?" So what does it mean? It means that generally Bholi is not taken care well. They do not give good clothes to Bholi to wear, but because they have decided to send her to school today, that is why they wanted to give some decent clothes to Bholi so that the other people does not say wrong things about them, just to show it to others. New clothes had never been made for Bholi. The old dresses of her sisters were passed on to her. So, again, one more such incident which adds to the negligence of Bholi at her home, that new dresses were never made for her. She was always wearing the old clothes of her sisters. No one cared to mend or wash her clothes. Even her clothes were not properly washed and mended. But today she was lucky to receive a clean dress which had shrunk after many washings and no longer fitted Champa. That means today also she was wearing one of the old dress of her elder sister, but luckily it was clean, neat, properly washed. She was even bad when oil was rubbed into her dry and messy hair. Only then she had begun to believe that she was being taken to a place better than her home. And her hair were properly tied, haired, combed. She was made to wear that neat and clean cloth. Now she was quite sure that that means she was going to a better place, which may be better than the home. When they reached the school, the children were already into their classrooms. Ramlal handed over the daughter to the headmistress. Left alone, the poor girl looked about with a fear-laden eyes. There were several rooms into each room. Girls like her squatted on mats, reading from books or writing on slates. The headmistress asked Bholi to sit in the corner of one of the classroom. Now, Bholi is into the school, and as she has never noticed what a school is, she's looking towards the different rooms and noticing that what kind of proceedings she has into the school, how the girls of her own age group are sitting, what how they are reading the books, how they are studying. She's noticing everything, and she herself is also sitting in the one corner of the room. Bholi was handed over to the headmistress, who can we say that lady principal. Now, Bholi did not know what exactly a school was like, what happened there, but she was glad to find so many girls almost of her own age present there. She hoped that one of these girls might become her friend. Bholi is not aware what a school looks like, what is the use of a school, why should children go to the school, but she's just happy to know that because today when she has come to school, she found the girls who are almost of the same age group which Bholi belongs to, and she's just thinking that any of them can become her good friend. The lady teacher who was in the class was saying something to the girls, but Bholi was unable to understand anything. She was looking at the pictures on the wall. She was fascinated by the colors. Just say, any child, any small child would be. When we start teaching the small children, when the children come to the school for the first time, what do they feel like? They feel attracted towards the colors. We try to make the rooms well painted for them. We try to give them toys. We try to give them symbols. The same thing was there, and she was correlating everything. That there was a picture of a horse. She was correlating it the horse on which Tehsildar comes. She was like comparing the picture of the goat with the goat of their neighbors. She was comparing the picture of a parrot with the kind of parrot she has seen in the mango orchards. Orchard is? What is orchard? Bag. And the cow was looking like Lakshmi, her own cow. And suddenly, Bholi noticed that the teacher was standing by her side, smiling at her. And suddenly, she saw that the teacher has come beside her and was smiling at her. What's your name, little one? And she stammered, Bho, Bho. She could not speak her full name. She could stammer no further than that. Then she began to cry. Tears flowed from her eyes in a helpless fool. She kept her head down and she sat in the corner, not daring to look up at the girls who knew were still laughing at her. That means she could notice that because she's stammering, the other children are laughing at her. And she was quite embarrassed by it, and she started crying. When the school bell rang, all the girls scurried out of the classroom, but Bholi dared not to leave her corner. Her head still lowered, she kept on sobbing. As Bholi don't know that what should she do into such a situation. Now, there was a bell of getting school off. All the children have come out of the rooms running, but Bholi was still standing there and waiting for some instruction, keeping her head low. Bholi, the teacher's voice was so soft and soothing. In all her life, she had never been called like that. It touched her heart. But the teacher was so soft spoken to her that when the teacher said Bholi, She felt as if somebody has called her so lovingly for the first time. And the teacher again asked her name. She again started. She stammered. But the teacher encouraged her and said that Bholi, if you'll try, you can speak. She motivated her. And then Bholi could speak out her full name. And she was quite happy to speak her full name. At last, she was able to say that she has made a great achievement by speaking her name. Well done, the teacher patted her affectionately and said, put your fear out of your heart and you will be able to speak like everybody else. Bholi looked up with the confidence as if she was really making a promise to her that, yes, ma'am, I will definitely try and I'll bring a change into myself. Right? I hope that things have become quite clear to you. We'll continue with this tomorrow, children. I hope that the explanation will make the chapter more clear to you. Thank you, everyone.